This week on the podcast, I've got Abby Lynn from Steal My Style 40. She is a petite influencer over on Instagram. She's got 75k followers, so check her out on Instagram. She's also local to me. We're both South London football mums, so we've got quite a bit, or soccer moms, as they say in America.
Yeah,
So we've got quite a lot in common. Welcome, Abby. Thanks so much for coming on the Style Stories podcast today.
thank you for having me.
And I think this is your first podcast, is that right?
It is. So forgive me if I come across as a bit scared.
No, don't be scared. It's all just a nice, relaxed chat. And, I wanted to invite you on because I've been following you for a while now. And, you're specifically petite. I think, are you 5'1" or 2? You're
5'3". I say 5'3". I'm actually 5'2.5", but that
right.
up helps.
Yeah, 5'2.5". So, anything under 5'4" is classed as petite. And I have a lot of people who email me all the time and in my Facebook group, and clients who just are so frustrated with the choice and struggling with where to find clothes. So you provide a lot of outfit inspiration on your Instagram. But also the landscape is changing because shops are closing left, right and centre. So it's actually getting harder to shop. So I just, wanted some insights really on that, which I'll launch into. And another thing is that people, petite people say to me, I can't wear wired jeans, things like that, because they just feel like because they're smaller, they can't get away with certain things, but they can.
They can.
It's just they can, and we're here to tell them they can. So I'm waffling on. I'm just going to go into. I've got these questions that I've created. So I've started asking the same questions to guests that come onto the podcast. So I've got a bit of a format. So the first question is really, how did you become an influencer on Instagram? What is your story? How did you get to share your outfits on Instagram and have a whopping 75,000
And
followers?
I it was luck, basically. Back in the day, I mean, I started it 7 years ago now, and it was literally documenting what I was wearing every day so I could keep an eye on my own wardrobe contents and kind of see what I've worn, try and mix and match what I have with other things that I own, and just kind of having a visual diary, basically. And somehow it just took off. So I can't really say right place, right time, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so. Did it grow quite fast, or was it so a long process over that 6, 7 years?
I'd say the first few years, yes, it grew really, really fast. And the last few years has been very slow, if you like. But I mean, I love my followers. I have a lovely, loyal, engaging following. So I'm not grumbling. And for me, it isn't a job. So I'm not overly fussed whether I grow or not. It's about the engagement.
Yeah, that's really, really important. So, I mean, you could have like hundreds of thousands of followers, and if they're not engaging, it's
Mm.
not about the numbers. But what I like about you is that you really talk about, it's very wearable outfits because you're often on a football pitch, aren't you?
Everything I wear generally is very practical, unless I'm on a night out, and then you'll find the impractical side of me will appear, and I'm very much a carte bar kind of shoes sort of girl when I'm not on a football pitch.
Have you always loved fashion? Is it something that you've just always been passionate about?
Yes, I've always loved clothes.
Yeah,
My dad is a real clothes horse. I think he has more clothes and shoes and accessories than I do.
I love it.
Yeah, and he has always been very conscious about what he's wearing. He's always very put together. And I think my love of clothes has come from him.
Right. See, yeah, my love of clothes came from my mum. So we are influenced, aren't we?
Yes, definitely.
Totally. What sort of dresser is he then? Is he into his like tailoring, or is he kind of
He goes across all the spectrum, so he can dress very casually. I'd say more often than not, he's quite smart. I mean, bear in mind, he's, coming up to his mid 70s, but he always looks very put together. And I think that's really inspiring. Even if he's stepping out to the corner shop, he'll look like he's made an effort.
I mean, I think that's so inspiring because it really is in very recent years that men's style has changed.
Mm.
Even when I was when I was in my prime in the 90s, you know, the guys would just wear jeans and a t-shirt. There wasn't really men's style. It wasn't a thing, you know, and now it is definitely a thing. Men are becoming a lot more stylish. So your dad, mid-70s, he was probably, that's a massive trailblazer,
Yes.
isn't it? Like, because my dad certainly didn't, yeah, it wouldn't even have crossed his mind, put it that way. It just wouldn't even have come into his mind at all. So I love that. He sounds amazing. So the next question I want to ask you is, I've asked you if you're always interested in style, and obviously you've been influenced by your dad. Now, all of us are influenced by where we grew up, you know, what school we went to, what music we listened to. I mean, I grew up in Essex, so it was all kind of, you know, and Essex people are really glam, like
Mm.
they get glammed up.
Yes.
And I'm not that. So I was influenced by that, but I've realised that I'm more of a relaxed, comfortable dresser.
Mm.
So, you know, you can be sort of led astray by where you grew up and all that kind of stuff. And it's quite hard to sort of get to the core of who you are. But I think that comes over time. So was there a pivotal style moment that you can remember in your life, maybe a dress that you bought or a moment when you realised, okay, this is how I like to dress? I mean, you dress comfortably because you're on a football pitch.
Yeah.
Is that really you? Is that a pivot, you know, is that your style vibe, do you
I
think?
would say I am probably more of a feminine and slightly more dressed up sort of person by nature.
Right.
However, my lifestyle does not allow for that. So I think I've just fallen into that sort of casual vibe because of my lifestyle. Given the choice, if I wasn't on a football pitch pretty much every night of the week, I think my style would be slightly different. You say, you know, you're influenced from where you're growing up. I obviously grew up in Croydon. Back in the day, they didn't wear a lot. And I used to love going out in the smaller skirts and teeny tiny tops and no coats. But obviously, that doesn't fit my lifestyle as a mum. So, yes, I think the influence is dependent on current situation, I would say.
Did I see on your Instagram, I hope I'm not getting you mixed up, some knee-high glittery boots?
Yes,
Or is
you
that?
did. Yes, you did.
I thought so. I was like, wow, where are they?
They
Where are
are
they from?
they are awesome. They are Kurt Geiger, and they're very comfortable. They just add a touch of glamour to actually quite plain outfits because I think I did 4 outfits with those boots, and so some plain leggings and a jumper, but the boots did the talking. Some plain black shorts, a plain black blazer, the boots did the talking. I did put them under wide leg jeans just so there was a little bit of sparkle sticking out, and I think I did something else, I can't remember, but I was just showing how you could style them in different ways, and I'm itching to wear them out somewhere. I just need to get out.
They're so amazing. They're gorgeous. I mean, I think, are they over the knee or just knee-high?
I think they're meant to be knee high, but with short legs, they go over my knees.
Oh, right. And they're like stiletto heel, aren't they?
Yes,
I mean, these are sexy, glittery boots, listeners. I mean, they're amazing. But what Abby's saying here is you let the boots do the talking, which is something I love doing with an outfit. If you've got something, it's quite a good recipe, isn't it? If you've got something really extra like that,
yeah,
if you then wear something, say if you wore those boots with like a tartan skirt and a ruffled blouse, oh my God, it would be too much.
yes,
So simplify, let the one thing do the talking. And those boots are so extra, aren't they? And such an attention point of attention that you just let
definitely.
them do the talking in those outfits.
Yes, definitely.
That's a lovely balance. I love that. So this is an interesting point actually. Is that your actual style type isn't really naturally casual, but you can't dress how you truly want to dress because of your lifestyle.
Basically, yes. I mean, back in the days I was working, I absolutely loved getting dressed up and putting the heels on. I would commute in heels. I commuted in heels until I was 7 months pregnant, and
Wow.
then I gave up because I was very off balance. But my natural style, I'd say, is much more dressed up. But yes, current lifestyle does not allow that, so I've adapted.
But this is the thing. I mean, you still look completely put together, but it's just practicality is obviously a big factor. There are
Yeah,
different ways to look smart and put together. You don't have to be, in the sort of glam heels and everything else. And lifestyle, I mean, the thing is, you have to follow the call of the lifestyle basically, because that's what you're going to be reaching for on a day-to-day basis.
exactly.
And if you don't wear those clothes that work for that, you're not going to be wearing most of the clothes in your wardrobe. So lifestyle wins, doesn't it? It's
Can you imagine me rocking up to a football pitch in those sparkly boots?
I would I would pay good money for that. I think that would be really good post. People would love it. That'd be amazing. Yeah, but I can imagine all the other football mums would just be like,
Yeah,
"What's going on?"
jaws on floor. What is she wearing?
Amazing. I'd love it. So do you have any style icons? I mean, this can be your dad's obviously a style icon to you. Right, he's obviously influenced
Yeah.
you in a big way, and
Yes.
your love and passion. Do you have anyone who's famous, or is there like another, maybe someone on Instagram whose style you really love?
Um. So, someone whose style I really love and can't always replicate, because I do love Instagram for giving you the ideas to put together a similar outfit with what you've got. Coco Beauty. She's a huge Instagrammer, and her style is very simple chic, I would say. She isn't a fussy dresser. There's not huge amounts of pattern or color, even, I would say. She does wear some color, but she does wear a lot of jeans very simply. And I just love her style. I think it's so easy to replicate with what most of us would have in our wardrobe. So
Do you,
she's inspirational.
I haven't come across her actually. Is she British?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Coco Beauty. So I'm always looking for new people to follow, you see, because I love, I feel like at the moment Instagram just serves up the same.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the algorithm, but if I like one, so say if I like a recipe, like I liked a chicken recipe yesterday or the other day, now all I'm getting is chicken recipes. And I get a lot of cats because I do love cats and I'm happy with that. But I don't know how to, how do you make it work? I don't know, but
I don't know.
I don't know. So I'm looking for people to follow. So Coco Beauty, so she's quite chic, but I like the sound that she wears jeans because that's my
Well,
vibe.
jeans is a staple, and I do think a lot of influencers show you the latest dresses and all the really pretty stuff. But on a day-to-day basis, most of us are running around, doing errands, working, whatever. We can't wear the pretty dresses on a normal basis. So yes, they're great for inspiration, but for me, I think I need more like everyday inspiration.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, just, like we're saying, like practical things that you actually are going to wear, but
Yes.
still look put together. So, even when I'm just doing a coffee run or something, I still like to make a bit of an effort.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone, even though I talk a lot on this podcast about how casual and scruffy I am, I'm not someone who would be happy in jogging bottoms and a hoodie either.
Mm.
So it's that kind of, balance. Is there anyone else who is a style icon, like anyone famous? So I love like Alexa Chung, and I
Yeah.
love I love Kate Moss as well. I've always loved her style. Croydon girl.
Yes, total Croydon girl. I actually love Victoria Beckham. Her style, again, that very clean line, simple style almost. Yeah, she's for me, she's a big style icon. Not
It's
someone that I replicate, but but I like her style.
It's interesting you're saying this because see, yeah, I don't see. I don't. I do admire her style, but for me, I don't because it's too classic. Because I don't like. I'm not. But it sounds like you're liking the real sort of simple.
I'm
I'm
quite
not.
a classic girl, I think, at heart.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so and the next question was how, like, where do you? Which is this is like sort of really important question for the listeners as well because I get these. Questions a lot on email, petite people who are listening, people in my Facebook group as well, because it's a struggle because obviously we're not all off the peg. So where do you shop specifically for your taste and body shape and, and your, the fact that you're petite as well?
I shop everywhere. I there isn't one particular shop that fits the bill for my petite shape. And so I do find I have to go everywhere. I think ranges differ across different stores. I do have some favourites. So I love H&M and Zara, uh, both of which cut for women who are probably at least 5 inches taller than me. But I do find that if you look through, and I do, especially for trousers or jeans, if I pick something that's cropped ankle length on a Zara model or an H&M model, then that generally comes down to just below my ankles. And I can pretty much gauge that that will be quite a nice length for me, even though it's not meant to look that way. It's supposed to be a lot higher up the leg. So for me, it's a case of shopping around. There's no easy fix that I found. I mean, if you find one, please do share. But yeah, it is about looking around.
I mean, I find for my petite clients, Theory is good for tailoring. So Theory is sort of higher end. I mean, it's definitely not sort of running around day to day. It's working in an office kind of clothes, you know, because it's just lots and lots of tailoring. But they cater well for petites, and the fit does. Also Hobbs as well, but Bowden do great trousers, and they do 3 different lengths
Mm-hmm.
as well. So you can get your petite, your regular, and your long
Yes.
in there. So they seem to do really well catering for a lot of different heights.
I love Marks and Spencers for that. I do think they do a good range at a good price point for the quality. However, I do think that their petite range, I'm on the tall end of petite, their petite range is still quite long. They seem to have got longer over the years.
Really,
Yeah, so for me, it's fine. But if you're like 5 foot, those couple of inches make a difference. And then your trousers will be trailing on the ground. So I think M&S does do extra short every now and then, but not across the whole range,
the best,
sadly.
yeah, the best pair of jeans I've found is by Frame, and
Mhm.
it's called it's Le Flare, so it's a slight flare. It's a boot cut, but it's called Le Pixie, so it's
Mhm.
made for petites, and it's just
Mhm.
beautifully cut and hangs really really nicely. I mean that they are about £200, but if you're wearing jeans all the time, you know that's a lot, but that quality is really really good. So say if you were going to the high street, would you struggle, do you think, if you were just going out shopping? Do you do most of it online?
I actually am a high street shopper. I prefer to go out and see it. I think I've got a good enough eye to gauge if I see something on a hanger, whether it's going to be roughly the right length or fit for me. Um, and I think it's easier to see it in real life than on a model that's, you know, not 8 inches taller than me, half my width. And, you know, I think it's easy to see it in real life. But that's just my preference. And I'm lucky I have the time to go and shop because it is a time consuming thing.
It is a time consuming thing, but where would you do you think you'd get? Do you think John Lewis cater quite well for petites? Because they have quite a lot of brands under one roof, I guess, don't they?
They do. They have loads of brands under one roof,
Yeah.
definitely. But it's not somewhere I naturally gravitate to. Maybe because we don't have one here
Oh,
on the.
yeah, yeah. Oh, you've got quite a lot of shops there, haven't you, in Croydon? See, I'm West Norwood, so I would have to go into town really. I'd be jumping on a tube up to Oxford Circus,
We've
and then
got Central Croydon has a few. I tend to go to Bromley, and there's more choice there because it's only 20 minutes drive from where I am. So yes, that's a good shopping area if you're in this area.
yeah, in the southeast London area. So, I was going to ask as well if there's any particular rules that you follow, or any app tips for petites that you could share. Like, do you go for a crop trouser? Do you wear wide leg trousers? You know,
I love.
is there any particular tip that you can share?
Um, I think we can wear anything, absolutely anything. It is just about the proportions on it. So I will always pull a sleeve up. So my sleeves are pulled up to show a bit of wrist, I guess. It just kind of lifts the proportions, makes me look a bit taller. 99 times out of 100, I will tuck things in. Again, to create leg length. Yes, I will wear cropped jeans, but you have to balance it with whatever you're wearing on top, and certain footwear, etc. It's about playing with the proportions. But as petite, we can wear anything and everything. And actually, you said wide leg jeans. That is what I've been living in constantly for the last, I don't know, 6, 8 months. So
It's actually weird. It's honestly, I'm not joking. It's one of the things I hear the most from petites. Can't wear wide jeans. Can't wear petites. Can't wear that look, that silhouette, which is it's a belief. I don't know why, but it is definitely not true because I think it looks fantastic to have. If you've got wide leg jeans, like you're saying, it's like a bit of a recipe balance. If you're wearing wide leg jeans on the bottom, wear something fitted and tuck it in on the top.
yeah, and make sure that it's tucked in neatly so you've got waist definition. So it gives you that the length from floor to waist height. It gives you a kind of leg lengthening almost. I think they're very flattering on me as a short person.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely you can wear them.
You can 100% definitely. So is there an item in your wardrobe of what you're wearing on repeat, something that you just can't stop wearing? You just like love, like I've got my me and M flared jeans. I'm just wearing them. I have to stop wearing them because I wear them all the time. I love them so much, which is great. But is there a piece that you're wearing at the moment?
Well, as I just said, the wide leg jeans, probably they're easy to dress up and down. Obviously I wear them mostly dressed down. I just think they're really easy to wear, kind of casual outfit. And yeah, they are probably my most worn items at the moment. That and my Adidas Sambas, which I did purchase not so long ago. I kind of bit the bullet, having seen them everywhere and not wanting to want them because everyone else had them. But they do go really well with a wide leg jean. So those two together, probably that combo.
My son says to me when I wear my Adidas Sambas, because I've got 3 pairs. Well, actually, no, I've got a gazelle. I've just bought a pair of gazelles from Office. They've got platform gazelles. Have you seen them?
Oh, I haven't seen that. No.
So they're black suede, but then they've got like a camel platform, so you get a bit of height. I just really love them. But when I wear my Adidas Sambas, the one that everyone's wearing, which I know what you mean, it's the black
Yeah,
and white, the
yeah.
classic. My son just goes, "Why are you wearing bowling shoes? That's really embarrassing." And
You've got a lot of kids.
they do look a bit like bowling
They
shoes,
do. And to
slightly,
be
but
fair, you don't really see much of them under a wide leg jean. There's only a toe poking out
there's
anyway.
a
So,
little toe. Exactly,
but
but I love that I've got all Adidas. I've like I said, 3 pairs because a huge trend for spring summer 24 is red Adidas Sambas that have sold out about 4 times already. And I actually ended up with getting a green pair again from Office with a neon. Actually, they were from Selfridges with like a neon bit at the back, so they're like a gorgeous green suede. So they're my coloured trainers for this season. But I'm in trainers constantly, so for me, it's money well spent. It
yeah,
makes
I'm the same. I don't mind spending money on trainers because I know I wear them all the time.
yeah, not like the glittery knee high.
Yeah, I'm going to get less wear out of those, that's for sure. Unless I suddenly have a really full social calendar. Unlikely.
I think it would be amazing to see you go to a football thing though in those. I'm
I'd
sure it
sink,
would.
I would sink in the mud.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, right. So the final question that I've got is, and this is something that I talk about on the podcast all the time, and I'm seeing everywhere at the moment as well, is using words to describe your style because it used to be. So when I trained years ago at London College of Fashion, it was you're either boho, you're classic, you're one thing, but that's kind of putting yourself in a box.
Hmm.
So over the years, finding we're complicated, we've got lifestyles, we've got football to go to, we've got I've got to take my son to the orthodontist this afternoon. There are things that we have to do. We want wearable wardrobe, so finding 3 words, and also the 3 words can clash as well because actually it then creates a balanced outfit. If you could describe, Abby, your style with 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
I would say casual, definitely for my current situation, or the last 5 years of my life has been very, very casual. But I would probably temper that with not just being casual, but still put together, because I may go out in a jogging set and a cap and trainers and a hoodie, whatever, but I will accessorize it. I will still make an effort to make it look like I haven't just stepped out in my pajamas. So I think you can elevate the basics of a casual style like that. And that is definitely something that I am channeling currently.
Maybe classic is one of yours.
Classic would definitely be one of mine. I think if it comes to like going out and dressing up, I'm usually very classic, and always very classic with accessories. Shoes and bags are my weakness, but I will generally stick with very classic pieces. I wouldn't go off the wall with those. Practical, I guess.
And,
That makes me sound really boring, doesn't it?
I think you should go glam. Come on, you've got knee high glittery stiletto boots. Not everyone's got those in their wardrobe.
True, that is true. Yeah, there is definitely that glam side of me that's
Yes.
to get out.
Well, you've got this sort of glam hair and everything. So glam is, I mean, I love to look glamorous. So I love to look feminine as well. But casual, you know, is definitely a huge part of me. I don't like using the word practical personally, because then it makes me feel like I'm wearing my, you know, a dog walking coat. Waterproofs or a North Face, you know, and I just that sort of drags me down. But you know, there are different kinds of classic as well. Like people think classic, that means you're in tailoring, you're in a two-piece twin set or whatever. You can be casual classic, you can be sporty classic, you can be glam classic. So there are different combos. So it's just sort of finding the right one for you. So you could be glam classic casual, you know. So and it's just then when you look in the mirror and you just think to yourself, do these words fit my you know, does this outfit fit my 3 words? I just think it's incredibly helpful. Just a really good trick. Yeah. Brilliant. All right. That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today, Abby. It was a really good chat.
Thank you for having me.